Hey guys, how are you all doing? This is Rob of Rule of Two Review. Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to discuss and try to dive deep and predict some of what might be happening with the very mysterious Bowser's Fury edition to the upcoming Super Mario 3D World Deluxe. Of course, before I dive too much deeper into that topic, I do want to remind you that I am always trying to grow the channel here. I am very close to a new milestone, within 200 subscribers of reaching 15,000 on Rule of Two Review, which I'm incredibly proud of, really excited. And so, as you watch this video, if you seem to like what I'm doing and you like what you see and what you hear, then hopefully you will consider subscribing to the channel and help me reach that goal sooner than later. So of course, we're all familiar with Super Mario 3D World Deluxe. This is, as I said on my last video, the next in a very, very long line of ports from the Nintendo Wii U over to the Nintendo Switch. It has been a very hot topic ever since the Switch launched because we've seen a fairly regular rollout of titles that were previously on the Wii U being ported over to the Nintendo Switch. And while many people have complained that getting Wii U ports on the Switch diminishes the value of the Wii U and even diminishes some of the quality library of the Switch because so many of the games are not new, they're ports, I just really haven't cared too much about it. I mean, I understand the argument, and in a perfect world, yes, we'd be getting more new entries in these franchises and less last-gen ports, but sometimes a last-gen or a prior port or a remaster can be very exciting and very worthwhile. And so I've always been torn on the fact that I love the Wii U. I think that the console is worth everybody's time, but that didn't happen. And so now seeing these great games that deserve attention get a new life on the Switch, which is much more successful and popular, also makes sense. And so I don't really have a firm flag planted on either side of this debate. I've talked about it over the years. I mean, I'd prefer new games, but I'm not really offended by the Wii U ports either because I already own the games. I already have them on my Wii U. I'm not forced to buy and replay them. So to me, it's whatever. And with that aside, we then look at Mario 3D World Deluxe, which, like I said, is the next Wii U port for us to see, potentially even the last one. Yes, maybe we get a Xenoblade Chronicles X or a Star Fox Zero squeak in at the end here, but I think for the most part, now that Pikmin 3 came out in October and now we're getting Mario 3D World, it feels like this is really the last of the big significant Wii U ports to come over to the console. And 3D World is a very, very good game. You guys have heard me say this in several videos before. I like the game a lot. I think it's borderline great. I think everyone should play and experience it. But it is fairly low on my Mario games list, you know, if I were to rank them, which I actually did rank them last year. And it's a solid game, but I don't think it's necessarily the best game. Either way, one thing that we know for sure is that this game is going to be a massive hit. Any first-party game on the Nintendo Switch, and even most third-party games, sell very, very well. Their first-party games, including most of the Wii U ports that they've done, sell gangbusters. It's not that they sell well, it's that they sell insanely well. Even the Mario games alone, it's crazy what Nintendo has been able to do with the Switch. People love the console, they buy these games in droves. Mario 3D World, known to be a great game, but also one that a lot of people didn't play. When this game comes out on February 12th, just a couple of weeks from today, it's going to be crazy popular and crazy successful. And like I said, I'm glad for it because it is still a good game that most people, I think, are going to really enjoy. But of course, 3D World Deluxe comes with a unique little asterisk, right? And it's this mysterious Bowser's Fury additional content thing that was revealed alongside of the game's reveal in the Mario 35th Anniversary presentation last year. I want to say in August, I think that happened. And that was surprising. We all thought 3D World was going to come to the Switch, but no one saw this Bowser's Fury thing being a part of it because no one even knows what Bowser's Fury is. In fact, here in the second week of 2021, we still don't know what it is. There are a lot of theories and guesses, and I'll get into a few of my own a little bit in this video here, but it is currently a mystery. And for someone like myself, it puts us in an interesting situation because I'm somebody who doesn't feel like I need to buy or replay Mario 3D World on the Switch because I still own it on the Wii U. However, if Bowser's Fury looks awesome, and it's a significant amount of content and gameplay, and it looks like worthwhile gameplay, then suddenly I might actually be convinced to fork over another $60 for this game just because Bowser's Fury could end up being that cool. Now, an interesting update that happened, which is part of my motivation for making this video, is that Nintendo actually just released an updated site website for Super Mario 3D World Deluxe that gives us a tiny but not very significant glimpse into what might be happening here. So you can see really that this is the front splash page for this website, and they go over a couple of things about the game. We'll just kind of look at them here. First thing we can see, they give a couple of descriptions about the game and what's going to be happening with it. Pounce and climb through dozens of colorful stages. Mario and his friends can use power-ups like the Super Bell, which grants cat-like abilities like climbing and scratching. Jump, dash, and roll your way through colorful environments as you navigate obstacles and contraptions like conveyor belts and transparent pipes. I think I'm having a little bit too much fun reading this, maybe. Here, the next thing we can see is work with friends or against your friends and family. So this is interesting. They say up to 4 players can team up or race each other to reach the end of fast-paced and frantic stage, either locally or online, which is an addition here. Choose from multiple playable characters like Princess Peach and Toad and discover what makes them each distinct. Now, it should be noted that there's always been the 4 characters you can pick from. They make it sound like there's a wide variety of characters. It's just Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. That's who was in the original game. These are the same 4 showing up in this game. Just like Super Mario Bros. 2, otherwise known as Doki Doki Panic on the NES. So don't let this confuse you if you've never played this game or you're not familiar with it. There are only 4 characters to play in a 4-player game. It's not a huge variety. You're not going to pull up like a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter character select screen of like 12 different Mario characters. It's just these 4. The online thing, like I said, is new. That's kind of cool here. Like, there was tons of multiplayer stuff in the original release. That was the purpose of the game, was all the local multiplayer co-op that you could do, but now you can play this game online. That will be a cool addition for this game on the Switch. And then right below that, we can see the Bowser's Fury section, which, as of the time of this website being up and the time of this video, literally says, stay tuned for more details about this action-packed addition to the game. So that's it, man. That's all we got right now when it comes to Bowser's Fury. Nintendo is obviously willing to tell us something about it soon, but even here, like just barely over a month before this game releases, they've got nothing to say. They're still saying, stay tuned for more information, which is both good to hear and also kind of frustrating, right? If that makes a lot of sense. And I like their description here. They call it an action-packed edition. So those are Nintendo's own words. It's going to be action-focused, so it could be a variety of things, probably just more gameplay stuff. Who knows? And so what could this really be? What could Bowser's Fury actually turn into, and will it be exciting like we want it to be? I personally have 3 real main predictions on what it could be. It could be something else besides these 3 predictions, but these are just the ones that feel the truest and most possible to me in my own brain. The first and least exciting would be some sort of collection of multiplayer minigames or something. You know, maybe stuff you could play online or locally, and it's going to be just a bunch of weird Mario 3D World focused minigames, stuff that might even play similar to something like a Mario Party. Whether it's cooperative or competitive or a mix of both, I can see how that could be really exciting and interesting to a lot of people. It certainly wouldn't be that for me, though. I'm not really looking for a multiplayer-specific addition to this game in Bowser's Fury. I want more stuff that can be played single-player as part of the grander adventure, but because the whole game still allows you to co-op through it, that it would hopefully still have that as part of the gameplay as well. And I would think that that's what they would probably do. So maybe we see a collection of multiplayer things and mini games and stuff that just won't really be exciting to me. Now, the next idea I thought of that I think could actually be really interesting, and this, if handled properly, would probably be interesting enough to maybe get me to want to purchase this game. And it would be if they have an additional gigantic Bowser's Castle stage to go through, okay? And when I say gigantic, I mean really gigantic. Something that might take, you know, in the range of 5 to 8 or 10 hours to go through with a ton of different sections and levels. I'm talking about a real deal, right? And there's already plenty of Bowser's Castles to go through in this game. At the end of every stage, you got a castle level where you have to fight a new version of Bowser before moving on to the next world. And since this edition is called Bowser's Fury, that's kind of what sparked this idea for myself. It's the fact that it seems to probably focus on Bowser, right? What if we learned Bowser had one more huge, massive, 10-layer castles hidden somewhere in a different world we've never been to, and you have to go through 4, 5, or 6 stages within this castle to fight the most ultimate final version of Bowser or something. If they do that, if that's what Bowser's Fury turns out to be, or some sort of amalgamation of that idea, I'll be real with you guys. It's probably going to be awesome, and it's probably going to convince me to want to buy this game. So it's a shot in the dark, but I'm really focused on the fact that the name of this thing is Bowser's Fury. It has Bowser's name in it, so it has some sort of Bowser's back for more revenge kind of feel to it. So naturally, you would think the focus of this new content is going to be on Bowser's himself, right? I mean, it's his Fury, so it has to be about him. The last and really most exciting prospect for me, and last kind of prediction here, would be if it's really just a whole new world. I think that would be the coolest thing. Instead of just one big castle with multiple stages to go through, why don't they just make an entire new world that's, again, focused on Bowser, even though that already technically exists in the game anyway. If they make a whole new world and it's got another 5 or 6 stages plus another additional regular-sized castle and a new Bowser fight, that to me would be really neat. It would be akin to what we've all wanted for Super Mario Odyssey, where a lot of us have said Super Mario Odyssey is ripe for DLC that is just a new kingdom. For 10 or 15 bucks, we can download a whole brand new kingdom with another, I don't know, 110 moons or whatever you would put into one kingdom. I mean, that would be so cool for that game, and I think for this game, they could achieve a similar effect by just making a new world. And it would actually be way easier to do than a full kingdom in Mario Odyssey, I would think, because you're just creating 5 or 6 of these short little levels, and maybe one of the little Toad House minigame things, and then a new castle to go through at the end. Like, I think that would be cool. That would be very significant content to me. It would make me very excited. A whole new world to play beyond what I've already done in completing the original game. That would be amazing. And I don't think it's completely off the table. I think there's a chance that this Bowser's Fury thing really could be something like that. We're going to get a new couple of cutscenes that maybe show why Bowser is back and has another world for us to go through. So they set up the context of it being the Fury of Bowser, and then here's another world to go through at another castle, and then, oh, there you go. Now you're at the end of the game. You've beaten Bowser's Fury. Hooray. Of course, those are my 3 main predictions on what Bowser's Fury could possibly end up being. But the other big thing to talk about here is, when are we going to learn about what this darn thing is? When is Nintendo going to open up and tell us what's going on? Ironically, I think there's a chance it's going to happen this upcoming week, so with any luck, I'm making this video at the perfect time, right before Nintendo decides to open the doors and show and tell us what Bowser's Fury is going to be. And so as far as my guess on when we might see it, like I said, maybe this week, hopefully before the end of this month. I think it's pretty fair to assume that we might be getting a little Nintendo Direct kind of presentation about this game, similar to ones they've done for Smash Brothers and Animal Crossing and even the Mario 35th thing they did last year. They could just do another thing focused specifically on this game, 5, 10, 15 minutes long, where they talk about the game, show off the new online features, and then also spend a good couple of minutes actually showing us what the heck Bowser's Fury is. I think that's the most likely way that we're going to hear about it, and we are running out of time. I would think that might be something they would want to do before the end of January, but they have almost 2 weeks in the month of February, so it's not impossible that in the first couple of days of February, maybe a week before the game releases, they decide to show us and give us some sort of explanation on what Bowser's Fury is. It could come in a Mario 3D World focused presentation. It could come in, heaven forbid, a full Nintendo Direct. I discussed this in my last video about this game. What if they are going to give us a full Direct in January or February, and a part of that could be detailing Bowser's Fury? That would be amazing. Or there's always the chance, also like I said in my last video, that they just release a Twitter trailer and a YouTube trailer, and they probably would only need about 3.5 minutes, I would think, to detail what Bowser's Fury is and get us all excited for it. So maybe they just put a 3-minute trailer showing us what Bowser's Fury is on the internet, YouTube and Twitter, like I said, and then they call it good, and suddenly we know what Bowser's Fury is, and it'll be up to us to decide if it's interesting or not. To me, this is all what makes the most sense. As far as my 3 main predictions, it's going to be a multiplayer competitive minigame thing, it could be a whole brand new Bowser's Castle, or a whole new world for the game, and then of course my thoughts on when we might see it. Maybe this month in a Nintendo Direct, or maybe just a Twitter and YouTube trailer dropped online somewhere. Either way, the clock is ticking. This game comes out on February 12th. Like I said, it's just over a month from now, so we got about 4 weeks to go. So whatever Bowser's Fury is, Nintendo needs to tell us soon. And like I said, wouldn't it be crazy and really great if, like, days after this video goes up, Nintendo actually details it sometime this coming week? I think that would be really cool and kind of funny. So hopefully that happens. These are my thoughts on Bowser's Fury. I am excited about it. I hope it looks great so that I decide to pick up this game. What do you guys think about my thoughts and predictions and opinions and theories here? And what are your own? What do you think about the release of the game? What do you think about Bowser's Fury? What would you like it to be? What would make you disappointed if it turned out to be that? Whatever you think, talk about it below. And with that, this video is a wrap. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of 2 Review, and I will catch you next time on another video.